Well, hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Albino RHino Beer Review. You know what? It is the Sunday, Easter Sunday, so the day after my beer festival. And what can I say? The festival went great. The festival went great. Other than the festival going great, the beer tubers all left. All my buddy from the Arm Prior's gone. All the guys that were staying here from out of town are gone. There's something left here that should be gone in a few weeks. APA Brew News. All in all, great time. Huge mess to clean up. Bottles everywhere. Pizza boxes everywhere. But we had a great time. There was one last growler left. This growler was brought Friday. It's now Sunday. It was never really in a fridge, so I gotta really get to it because it's just draft beer. Luckily, it's fairly cold because it's been sitting down here. I've had the heat off for a while. It's been sitting down here just on the floor. So it's cool. It's about the temperature I like to drink my beer at. So that's great. This cup was given to me. Doesn't that kind of look like what I looked like before I shaved? Yeah. Big white head. Before I shaved. Because I just shaved recently, like 2 months ago at the most. At the most. I think a month and a half ago. Yeah, we're going to drink this beer, then I'm going to start doing some video editing for the week. What did we do? We did... I probably personally reviewed about 40 beers in 2.5 days. Two beerumentary things, a bunch of stuff at the beer festival. There's a lot of video to edit. I probably have about 70 to 100 videos to work on, so I'm going to be working for a while. I have so much beer left to review, I don't even know when I'm going to get to it all. But we'll have a good time. I'll talk about the rest of it on the next video. Sorry I've been talking so long about this. The beer we're going to review today is the Ashton Brewing Company's Session Ale. This was brought to me by Jeff. He brought 3 growlers down. Didn't have to even bring one, so we appreciate it. The Session Ale is 3.9% alcohol by volume, so you're actually looking at a proper Session Ale percentage. Wow. So much smoke. I did not expect that whatsoever. Now this one we probably should have drank right away. I'm worried about its longevity. Yeah, it's only been a couple days. But, yeah. Look at that head. Look at that beer. That is a beautiful beer. Holy shit, though. That carbonation is heavy. Look at it moving. Look at all that. Look at all that. That's not clinging to the glass, guys. That's carbonation moving. Nice, beautiful white head. It doesn't have a great head retention, but it's there. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful beer. Looks almost like ginger ale. That's what I'm getting here. A ginger ale-like look. Hello. Hello. I can see you. That's how clear it is. Super clear. Super yellowish. Super white head. Just a little cereal graininess is basically all you're getting off of this. Yeah, a little cereal grain, a touch of apple, and cereal grain. Cheers. Let's try it. Wow. Biscuity. Cereal grain. Very light. A little fruit ester in the background. Tiny little fruit ester in the background. Dry, though. Very dry. Dry and biscuity. It's moreish, though, because that dry biscuitiness makes you want to take another swig. So you take another swig. Very pretty looking beer, though. Very pretty looking beer. Very tasteless beer, though. Again, dry biscuitiness, little fruit esters from the yeast, and a touch of cereal grain sweetness on the forefront. Nothing at all to be offended about. Nothing at all to write home about, though. If you're a Coors Light drinker, if you're a Bud Light drinker, if you're a PBR Light drinker, if you're a Canadian Light drinker, if you're a Blue Light drinker, if you're anything like that, a little more flavor, very drinkable to you. If I had to give it a big brand to compare it to for the big brand drinkers, possibly Molson Wheat, because there's really no hop characteristic to it, and you're just mostly getting a graininess to it. So yeah, that's probably the closest thing to a big brand. It's probably the biggest brand. Slightly reminds me of Stonehammer F&M Light. Slightly. Stonehammer F&M Light has a little more of a malt bill on the forefront, but still has that bready biscuitiness on the background. So this, all in all, keeps up with normal craft beer light beers, and keeps up with this one in particular. Also keeps up with macro light beers. Macro light beers usually almost tasteless, except for whatever their flavoring that is normal being. I mean, you get the oxidation waxed cardboard from some of them. You get that boiled vegetable from another. You get the buttery DMS from another. I mean, mattering what company it is, they all have their little signature flavors that you slightly get in their water light beers. And I'm not bad mouthing them for that. That's what a light beer really mostly is a beer without flavor, only because they're watering it down so much. This is keeping to that where it is inoffensive and fairly flavorless. You're not getting a hop bill, you're getting the malt bill, and you're getting a biscuitiness and a little bit of the yeast. Great session beer though. Great session beer. Is it a beer I would drink all the time? Well, you know what? As a session beer, it's probably a beer I could drink all the time. Would I? Probably not, but I could. That being said, super easy drinking. Carbonation hurts the throat a little bit. I figured it would. But it's micro bubbles. It looked like it was going everywhere. It is going everywhere. But it was micro bubbles, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Burp doesn't taste bad. After everything's said and done in this video, I've drank almost the entire growler, and I have no problem with that. It actually tastes fine. It tastes fine. I'm sorry this review was so long because there's nothing really to say about this beer, and most of my talk was before. As a light session ale, as a light American lager, give it an 8. It's one of the better inoffensive light lagers. As a beer for me, give it a 5. For me, not really there. Though this would be an amazing camping beer. If this was canned instead of just on growler, that's the only problem with this brewery. Growlers. If this was canned, this would be my camping beer of choice. If this was canned, it would be my picnic beer of choice. It would be my beach beer of choice. It would just be the hanging out with the guys beer of choice. And even that being said, this is still a hanging out with the guys beer of choice. That's what it was brought here for. There was a lot of people here. We figured we were going to be drinking it with everybody, but we had so much beer to get through that it got pushed to the side because it was the least interesting beer of them all. And I kind of wish we had it because it's just a light, refreshing beer. So a 5 out of 10 from me personally. Stylistically, 8 out of 10. It does hit all of the marks it should hit for a light lager. And yeah, that's about it. That's about it, guys. Cheerios, boys and girls. A bientôt. See you soon. Mwah.